Hello, welcome back. New Meta Podcast, episode 118. Today we're going to be talking about funky item builds, fun item builds, and just fun heroes. Good stuff to try in Dota 2. The patch is soon to be upon us. Hopefully, by next week's episode, we'll be playing a new patch, but I will be saying that until the patch comes out, and who knows when it will drop, only Valve knows. Joining me as always, Marco and Adam. Marco, welcome to the pod. How are you doing this week, this fine December week?
Thank you, doing good. Excited for the patch. New hero. That's the big hype. And then, some good games of Dota. It's been a good end of the week in that there was a point when I hadn't won a game for 8 days. A bit of a hiatus, and then just couldn't win. And then in the last 2, just greens everywhere. It's too much green.
The last 2? What, the last 2 games? Or
2 days.
All right.
I don't even want to hear about it.
Oh, you're going to hear about it, don't you worry.
Adam, how are you? How are you this week?
Oh, just the same as last week. I'm good, but I'm lonely.
Oh, sad. The time zones, man. Time zones are just keeping us apart.
This was never an issue until the last 2 weeks, so not true.
We dodge you on Tuesday and then play...
Wednesday,
we
Thursday.
dodge you on Wednesday. Yeah, play Wednesday, Thursday when you can't. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Well, it's not that we can't, it's just we got to do this damn podcast.
That's true, yeah. Blinking podcast, you need to get rid of it somehow. Pass it on to the young guild members, maybe. The youngins coming up. Let's start with games then. Adam, you can maybe mute the Discord for a while if you wish. But Marco, what's been going down in the Dirt world for you?
So, like I said, I had this really long period of reds. Don't know what wins are like. I had that. There was a really bad evening of I don't know.
The
negativity.
Negativity, yeah.
Oh, the negativity was so much it shoved Stan out of the stack. Oh, it was crazy. Oh, I don't know what was going on, but the first game was a stomp, and then the second game it was 5v4. So it was honestly put me in a bad mood because like this is a waste of time. It's 30 minutes to win 5v4, and then the third and final game. To be honest, that was actually quite good. It was a big long 50-minute slugfest, but then we lose. So, but 0-3. You know what I mean? 0-3 is not the best evening. Anyhow, after that,
it wasn't 0-3. You mean 0-3 for good games because we did win the second game.
Oh, so I was 1-4 then.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we won the second game.
It's 1-2 technically.
It's because it's abandoned. It's not appearing on my match history.
Oh, I see.
So I've just got a string of reds in the row instead. But then I'm like, okay, let's go back to the rank.
They didn't even before you move on from that second game. They didn't even play it out. It's one of those games where it's unranked, so it doesn't count anyway. So someone abandons and they think, well, I'm going to play on anyway because it's not like it's ranked. It doesn't count either way, so I don't really care. And then you don't get the satisfaction of winning because the enemies, when they just decide they're behind enough, they just start leaving and then all 4 of them just disconnect and the throne explodes. It's very anticlimactic. So it doesn't feel good.
It was, I mean, at least, I don't know about other people's games, but for me it was 2v1 in the lane from minute 0 because they're Shakers like DCing or something. And even when he came back, he's level 2 and then I just feed on him. And so it was 30 minutes of anticlimactic after just getting smashed as well. So it was really unsatisfying. And then the game we played after that, tough one. But anyway, I then, a couple of days ago, decide, all right, I've got the time, let's do this ranked game. And I'm seriously out of shape, is the way we could put it. In the first, so I'm a CM. Solo ranked, yeah. CM, POS 5, laning with a Terrorblade. And the enemy's gone offlane Bloodseeker, Rubik. So it's pretty feisty lane. Basically, I think we should get first blood, and the Rubik kind of gets trapped in a tree, and I sandwich him from one side, Terrorblade from the other, Frostbite. But then obviously big blood right on top of us both. I feel like if TB manned up, we get the kill, first blood. But instead TB didn't, and then I die, and it's still quite knife edge, but I really did feel like, I could have got the kill. 0-1, and then in the next 3 minutes go 0-4. I just kind of keep going back to the lane and dying to the combo of Blood Right. You can't escape it with telekinesis. You're just horrifying POS 5 stuff. And in my mind, I was like, there's a good chance this tilts TB and we're fucked because I am feeding right now. This is really disgraceful. But team's mentality is strong, and this TB ends up carrying us big time. Everyone on the team plays well. It's just your normal CM, good stuff from Biggles, Frostbite, amazing spells, etc. Now at the end of the game, I'm like, all at the team chat, sorry for feeding at the start. And then the TB comes back. He's like, bro, no, you didn't feed. It's a really hard lane. Don't worry about it. And I was just like tearing up as the thrones exploding. Like, I did not deserve this praise.
What a guy. Not only is he giving you great praise, he's also winning Dota games playing terribly at this late stage of the patch when there's all these other carry heroes that are just crushing.
Yeah, I was just like, tearing up at this guy. So much gratitude for him. And then that just kick-started this last couple of days of quite a lot of greens, only one red. And then the party ranked games that me and you played with Dynamic just now, just flying up the ladder, that leaving Adam behind. It used to be on the tail, but not with these green gaming party stacks happening. I mean, to be honest,
we need to get everyone in.
Yeah. Maybe you could
get them all in for party rank.
So you told me to mute, so I'm not. I'm acting like I'm not listening.
Podcast party. That's the play now.
Yeah, no.
Podcast party ranked.
That's what we need to do. It was really good. Me and Dynamic. We played an unranked because it was just the two of us, and I was like, you're a bit tetchy, 2-man. Ooh. But then when Stan came online, 3-man, let's go. No reason not to fly into ranked. The first game, just Omega carried by PA.
Omega carried by
PA Omni. They were the duo. Oh my god! I thought I was an aggressive POS 1, but boy, oh boy, this PA, he was a rank 1.7k, so it's very good, and he was just, oh my! I actually can't believe how much work he did. Granted, he felt Omni, but wow,
it's like when he got Satanic, it was just 1v5 Dota 2, and then even before he had Satanic, he had Omni basically giving him mini Satanic with the Heavenly Grace. So on the PA, what a lane! It made it look a bit silly, honestly. Yeah. When you've got Heavenly Grace and Satanic, it's actually just so stupid. No one can touch you, even the Sven. It just doesn't matter. I mean, PA Sven's already a good matchup for the PA, but man, that was really like a 1v5. That's one of those games that I'm going to have to think of now when I think, oh man, these solo rank games, these are impossible to win. No one could win this. And then I just remember all I need is to get someone to press Heavenly Grace on me and play like this guy, and you're flying.
So we just played headless chickens, the four of us. Not headless, but chickens, running around the map, trying to cause mayhem. PA didn't die once, even though they have a Blink Black Hole Enigma. So it's massive credit.
And an axe.
Yeah, like you think a PA counter, but he just dodged, farmed. And what I found interesting was his item build was really smart and obviously optimal. So he went Battle Fury, Dezo, Basher, and then from Basher to Satanic. And then
interesting.
I think the game just had ended by then. I don't know if he finished Basher, but I know he just went Basher then Satanic, which turned out amazing because that Satanic was way more valued than the Abyssal Blade, if you know what I mean. So, and at the same time, the Basher before the Satanic was necessary for that bit of beefiness, but then that bit more kill potential, that kind of nice middle ground. And then you get the Satanic defensive, so that he's never ever dying. And then you kind of round it off with something a bit more aggressive afterwards. So I did really like how he did that. And he's swept the game up.
Very strong. And then we played the second party ranked. We were 1-0 up, and we thought, well, worst case scenario now is we're 1-1. So it's like a free game.
Yeah.
In our strange Dota mentality that we all share. It's like a free game. So flying again. Then it's my turn to play Crystal Maiden. We're all playing Crystal Maiden in ranked now. What's going on? Got another game. Mark, you played a very good Legion Commander. Well done. And the classic Dynamic Zeus getting the job done as well.
I read on Reddit there was a thread of that guy saying 7k Legion guide, and I did read a little bit of it today, and so when we're in the pick phase it was just kind of seeping to me, and I was like, I can embody this guy, I can embody his guide of 7k advice and followed through with it. Any gems
to report to the listeners from that guide?
Any gems? He had a good bit of narrative about different kinds of lanes you may face, and then how you itemize and skill build accordingly. So, like, if you've got ranged harassers, then casual ring of protection and more, say, W, or a press the attack. Or if you've got a lane where you're able to do more right clicking on the enemies, get more moment courage and maybe an oov. Or if there's lane where wand value, you could just get a casual stick to start with. And then, so it kind of just gave me a kind of bit of an idea about how the lane should go. So I did feel confident with it. And then I was against Spec Warlock, so they couldn't ever touch me. And I made sure the lane equilibrium was always favorable and things like this. So yeah, it went really well. And then the game was just running around, dueling as much as possible.
That's a big downside of Warlock that this game made me think. It's really hard to punish a solo lane when you've got Warlock, because he's such a... I mean, people do make out with the new Fatal Bonds, you can harass quite a lot, you can use Shadow Word aggressively and stuff like that, but such a passive lane, Warlock +1, that you can kind of get away with solo laning your off lane, and then you can try lane with your safe lane, and in theory it should go really well. This game, it did go well for maybe the first 3 waves. This enemy Slardar didn't hit a creep, but then some botched kill attempts and stuff, and it fell apart a bit. But in theory, it seems really good. You almost guarantee you're going to go even, or at least you're going to get your farm in your off lane against the Warlock lane. And then you're going to win the top lane, or at least your carry's going to get a good farm. Yeah.
And the fact that Warlock spells, both I would just purge off, makes it completely useless. If you're someone like a Lich, say, where you can do a nuke, I'm going to take damage, but anyone that's doing some overtime effect, it's just so easy for me to sustain.
Yeah, for sure. Legion Commander's a great laner, also can be very good mid. I know I played a Silencer in single draft against LC mid. That was very sad, because I can't really do anything, and even my damage just gets healed off from press the attack and stuff, so that was a sad one. Just for the listeners that don't know, being able to play party ranks is kind of a big deal, because Marco and Adam are both immortal god gamers, and for the longest time I wasn't divine, and you need to be divine to play party rank with immortals, and then I just binked divine the other day, so now we can finally play party rank for the first time in over a year, surely.
Yeah, it feels like it.
It feels like a year since we were last playing. So that's very exciting. Adam, you can unmute your Discord now, if you can hear me, and tell me about your games. I mean, I don't know how many you have played.
I'm back. What was that? What's the question?
The question was games of Dota 2 in the past week. We haven't graced your screen, but has any Dota happenings occurred?
Yeah, it looks like I've played a lot of games, just not with you guys.
Rip.
So I guess that just means that I have this allows for more diverse how have games been, right? If we're not commingling.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
5-head play.
Looks like a lot of losses, though. I had a perfect Mirana 4 game where I was 0-4-17. I took no kills from my cores. That's beautiful. I had a mid Snapfire where I went 14-1-20, and followed that up with a mid Riki where I went 26-6-23. So
Riki.
There's no longer Marco God Riki player. It's just Riki's overpowered, and anybody can just play it and get a free, 8 KDA, 900 XPM game.
Yeah, I vibe with that.
Well, I'm going to get defensive shortly.
I think we already bragged about that game, and we decided that I was a superior Riki player, right? That's what we came to the conclusion with in the chat.
Wait a sec. No, I just took credit for your win, if I'm honest, and I'll end the conversation, though. Taught you everything you needed to know.
We're comparable win rates, 67 to 70%. You do have more games played.
Yeah. Marco's a fake Riki.
He wants to stress the KDA.
Yeah, man.
And he forgets that I've played a lot of support Riki, so I don't have as high of a KDA. If anything, mine's more impressive because I'm a selfless Riki player playing it as support.
One of my earliest Dota memories is watching Marco getting wrecked by a Riki.
Really?
Yeah, it was before I played Dota. I didn't know what Dota was. I didn't know what any of the heroes were. I didn't know anything. And I came round to your house I was just round, visiting, and you were playing a game of Dota, and I literally didn't know anything, but the only thing I could see was when you die and it says, killed by, and it shows a portrait of the hero you were killed by, and it shows the name Riki. And you kept getting killed by a Riki. And that's where the memory ends. That was it. So I just remember you getting tormented by a Riki, and then the only thing I could offer watching you was like, oh, this Riki keeps killing you, and then you were just like, oh yeah.
Shut up, Stan.
Yeah. Fuck off, bro. No, I wouldn't say that.
That was rough.
No, he's an OP hero.
Add him to the list of OP carries.
Also, both of those games with my mid snap and mid Riki, I was against a Medusa both times, and it's just like the freest game ever. Especially the Snapfire game. It's just like you just dominate the Medusa middle.
How so? Yeah. What do you do to dominate the Medusa mid?
You just hit her with all your magic damage spells, and she just doesn't have mana. And then level 6 comes, and you just drop hot napalm death on her.
Yeah.
And she's too slow to walk away.
I've noticed a worrying increase in Medusas recently. I've played against 2 Medusas recently, and I forgot the hero existed for the last 5 months, and now suddenly Miracle plays a Medusa once, wins, and now there's a million Medusas crawling around in my pubs, and I don't like it very much.
Yeah, it's a snooze fest hero. I do like playing it though. It's fun to farm.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun, and then I lose my lane, and I'm just a Medusa that's 4th in net worth, and it's like, why did I play this hero again?
Yeah, but then you have you're like really passive, so you have an enemy snap with a 14-minute Ags throwing a offlane Kunkka on top of you with a 14-minute radiance, and it's like, what do you do?
Yikes.
Yeah.
Snapfire caused a fun one. I want to try that. I tried it maybe once or twice. The first time I tried it, I was like, oh, I'm so ready for this mid Snapfire. I'd watched a YouTube video, I was ready to go. And then I got laned against a Quap, and it was just so grim. Like, why do I get the Quap the one time I'm trying to just have a fun mid lane?
I think that's the first time I tried it too. It was just like, damn, this sucks. Either that or like OD, and it's like, I hate this.
In terms of my games, I feel like Marco's covered the main ones, the 2 party ranked wins. I don't know if I've played ranked. I think I won a Pugner in ranked the other day. That was very fun. I think that's the only ranked game that I've played. Or was that... Did I talk about that last pod? Oh yeah, that was before last pod. Forget it, in that case. I've just been, bumming around on the usual suspects. TA, Tusk. I did win a game on Monkey King, which is definitely an unusual occurrence. My Monkey King is famously bad. So not much to report. Any news in the Dota world? I don't feel like there is really. It's just everyone's waiting for the patch.
Well, there's that one controversy with Arposh gaming, but I don't even want to dignify it. I thought it was the dumbest drama I'd ever seen.
Okay, that's I can't even be bothered, to be honest.
Yeah, why people would be upset about it at all.
Some tweets, NA. Yes, I feel like I've read like bits of it and just can't even understand, and just don't care for understanding.
Okay, well in that case, let's move on to a bottomless topic. I've botched that. A bottomless pit of a topic, and that is having fun in Dota 2 with your heroes and your build. I know I have a few examples of funky stuff that's worth trying, but I'm going to throw it over to Marco first. Marco, talk about some fun combos in Dota 2.
First off, shout out something I watched today. Maybe other people are familiar. The 5-man Snapfire. The 5-man IO relocate.
That was sick.
With so what was it? Lifestealer.
Ags.
It was a Pudge Ags, Lifestealer, Snap, IO.
Lifestealer Ags.
Crystal Maiden.
Oh, so they had a fifth hero that. So she gets eaten by Pudge. Then can Lifestealer in? Oh, Lifestealer
Lifestealer jumps in, then Snap eats the three of them, and then IO relocates the whole group.
So CM gets Lifestealer goes into CM, Pudge eats CM, Snapfire eats Pudge. IO reloads Snapfire, and you can do a 5-man reload. And they did that and got the throne through backdoor.
Yeah,
so
that was very fun.
Epic ending.
Well, that's the first thing to shout out in fun combos to try.
The mobile, yeah. There's so many, I don't know, you eat a hero mechanics now that did not used to be a thing.
Yeah.
Is there not something, you probably can't do something with Morph, right? Morph doesn't.
No, because they're all ultis?
There's not another eat a hero thing you can steal, I don't think.
For six hero relocate. Meepo's technically with the Ags, that's a six hero relocate. You relocate in one Meepo and you poof in the other 4.
That's like a 10 hero relocate.
Yeah, 10 hero relocate. Just do all of that. Eat a Meepo rather than a CM. The other Meepos poof in. You're winning. Marco, do you have a fun hero? I see one written on your notes. I don't know if you want to start there or start somewhere else.
Yeah, so I was looking at the Dota heroes list, and the first one that came to me is the Clock Pos one that I always dream about, and I don't think I've played it yet, but it is in my mind that I want to do a Pos 1 clock and use the overclock agonyms, where you use it and get massive attack speed to do some sort of DPS build. So Dezo Ags kind of thing, just because you get max attack speed from the overclock. So you hook in with your battery assault, and then you overclock, wacka wacka wacka. That resets your spells as well, so you can hook shot again for the second stun, and then the second round of battery assault potentially. And I mean, most heroes are dying from that Dezo right-clicking hammer.
Wow, you get 200 bonus attack speed for 8 seconds with overclock.
Yeah, man. Dezo,
that's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Dezo, Ags, Daedalus, hook onto someone, and you can hook them twice and battery assault them, so you probably should be able to hit them. They're melting, man.
Wow, that is...
And you gotta make the waka 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 noise.
Yes.
And I've got... Go on, Sam.
That was your noise that you made. Apparently that's how he right-clicks. Waka waka waka. He's like Pac-Man or something.
Yeah. It's a full hands-off keyboard, waka 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 moment.
Yeah. And use the new set where he's just a brain in a jar. That's the full play.
Yeah.
The new set. Agony of Endless Days. Clock's a fun one. I feel like the Agonyms is good in general. You always see it picked up in pro games. Marco always tells me not to buy it when I play Clock, but...
Do I?
I feel like... yeah. I'm like, oh, I've got 4-star for whatever, I'm going Ags. And you're like, no, just get BKB even.
I can't remember.
You don't believe in my abilities to use spells twice over, I don't think.
Maybe not.
Clock is definitely a fun one. I know, like I said, Ags is picked up like a lot. I feel like it's one of the better ones in the game.
I miss the old one.
Hookshot CD.
Yeah, just 12-second cooldown on hookshot.
Yeah, that's fair. That was a very fun one as well. Alright, here's a shout as well. It's sponsored by Gainsworth, friend of the pod, host of the famed new meta in-houses that are no longer running, sadly. But Punch Seer, Dark Seer, Echo Saber, and then, well, whatever right click you feel necessary, but you can look towards like Shivas and stuff because it's going to give you damage. But Echo Saber first item, punch with... Well, you could probably fit in a Deso as well.
Rady? Isn't that a thing? Rady, because you punch, and then you could get the Echo for the double punch.
Maybe, yeah, maybe Rady. I think that's a bit too... It's too slow, though, the Rady. I want to be flying in with Surge and Iron Shell early and just being a high mobility... mega annoyance. I think Echo Saber Deso is fine.
Yeah.
Because Surge, I mean, why do you need to Surge your Alchemist or your carry when you're the carry? You just Surge yourself. Easy. Punch Seer. Pos 1 Punch Seer. Or Pos 2 Punch Seer, I suppose. Either is fine. And I can confirm that I did watch a YouTube video on it once, so that means it's real. That means it's legit. It's not just me talking to you about it.
I swear I should have seen this in my life, but I feel like I've never seen this in my life. A Dark Seer that went mid. I can't...
Why should you see it?
I mean, you shouldn't, obviously, but over thousands of games, you'd imagine, or even watching it on YouTube videos, Bulldog, whatever, all this random stuff, I swear I've never seen a Dark Seer mid. That sounds like it could be decent. You'd stack the neutral camps and farm them and then go this right-clicker build from the mid or something like this.
What do you never see in Dota? What hero do you never see, or like lane or anything?
Oh, goodness.
You're just baiting me to flame someone.
Chen middle.
Yikes.
No, you see Chen? I've seen Chen core. Offlane Chen was a thing.
Pos 3 was a thing.
Right now.
But are you saying in the history of Dota what's never been seen?
Well, that's not possible. It's all been done.
Yeah, but that's what I thought about mid Dark Seer, and I can't ever recall that happening.
I reckon I've done that.
I mean, I guess carries playing support. You like AM1 is like not, PL1 is not a thing. Medusa 1's not a thing.
No.
I do think Meepo, I've theory crafted Meepo 5 before. Because you have so many nets, you just stay out of trouble and just net forever, perma-root. You take the Earthbind cooldown talent and you literally have perma-root. You just sit with a decent chunk of range away and just spam net forever. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah,
I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible, obviously, but it's not that bad. Also, you're just constantly everywhere. How many times do you have it in Dota where your support is nowhere to be seen? I can hear Marco like shouting at me already. But with Meepo, you're everywhere at the same time. You play all the side lanes. You play mid and both the side lanes, and you invade their jungle at the same time. And anything happens, you just poof in. It's easy. And just root. Even if you die, it's not a big deal. Meepo players rejoice they can actually die without just instantly losing the game.
And you've got that the farm potential is always welcome on a support. Farm some woods.
Adam, do you have a fun hero to try? It doesn't have to be as wacky as Dark Seer 1 or Meepo 5. It can just be like an unusual or just anything, I suppose.
I got to play Lich mid in the last 10 days or so. I always enjoy bringing that out. And I've wanted to play a Crystal Maiden mid for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
CM mid's interesting. What would you do with a CM mid? Do you not level aura? Or do you just level aura and
level? I mean, you should still be getting some aura points because it still helps out everyone and yourself, and just be spamming
I think
Crystal Novas.
I think 2 auras is fine, because on that Bulldog video, I watched the kind of first half, and I think he went 0-4. I swear it could have been 3. I feel like you could have been 0-4-3, something like this. And he just constantly had full mana. He'd use a Frostbite, and he'd get full mana before it's even up again. So
we should have some
I think 2
Crystal Nova, though, because you want to spam people down. Now, I know he like memes in Ancient Bracket, so it's not like for serious, but
her spells are strong, man. So
and then you get level 20, right click, build, 200 attack speed. I mean, I get Deso in some support games where you're just trying to end, where you just happen to have the 200 attack speed. You become a nice little right clicker.
Do you build Blink Hags BKB and then transition into right click with the talent, or are you always going down the right click route and you just really come online with level 20 like Snapfire?
I think you don't need Ags. I think Blink BKB is fine if that's what you want to do, or if you just want to go like Blink Dragon Lance, other things. I don't know.
Did you know that how the freezing field lands in the game?
What do you mean?
About how it lands in a kind
of random, it's a quadrant thing.
Quadrant clockwise motion.
Yeah.
Quadrant and then, like, clockwise motion.
Starts in the upper right and then goes in a clock.
Oh, wait. Then, counterclockwise, it says.
And then it's like also random how the radius from how far from your hero to the
Right.
edge of the circle, I guess. It just goes in and out.
Is there an optimal place for them to be, though?
You usually don't want to be right next to them, I don't think.
It says, so on this note, it says the average damage is roughly constant up to a radius of 485, falling off slightly after that. So maybe you want to be 485 range away, optimally? Or within that range, it may be. Yeah, within that range. So you want to be kind of close, but yeah, I feel like if you're completely next to someone, they end up missing loads.
Who cares, honestly? Just use spell. Just use spells, win. Get Ags, GG. A fun hero, just as a hero that I think is worth a mention. We once did a tier list on fun heroes, spawning the infamous drama of Tier 1 versus Tier S, or whatever it was. But I actually think Elder Titan is low-key or just a really fun hero to play. I've only played him twice, and both times I played him, I felt like I had a really good impact, and I didn't think the hero was as hard as I was expecting to pull off. I definitely encourage people to try some ET, especially newer players. I don't think it's as menacing and intimidating as a hero as it needs to be. I definitely want to play some more ET. I've had 4 or 5. I think 4's maybe a bit easier to get with. You can go ahead and play at 3 if you want. I just think it's a little bit more difficult to pull off, especially if you don't have experience with the hero and how it works. You could definitely go ahead and play at 3. But yeah, I'm just giving ET a shout out because I've been thinking about playing ET recently. I always forget that the hero exists. It's always one of the lowest picked, but it's very good and it's not that difficult to play actually. Briefcase man. Adam, you played some 3 ET, didn't you, recently? Or in life?
Not recently, but yeah, in life I've definitely played it.
Yeah. The Decksmith briefcase bash.
Yeah.
I like the briefcase bash, yeah. A hero that actually makes use of Echo Saber really well. A lot of business to be had.
Marco, any other fun hero combinations? I feel like you've got a few. I know I've seen your... We're not going to talk about Winter Wyvern 1 unless you really want to, but I know that the Wyvern 1 fits the bill a little bit. Any other inspiration?
Honestly, I'm trying to think about what I want to run in a single draft game now. The next time we're in some memey, horrible game, what can I hurt our allies with? What do I want to do?
Rubik mid or Dark Willow mid?
Rubik mid's it's okay. Mid. It's a bit meh.
Rubik mid's stronger than Dark Willow mid.
Yeah, the Willow is a bit too eggs in one basket.
You get Ags though, and it's just so fun if you get Ags. Just absolutely stupid damage. It used to be more stupid, and then they patched it, didn't they? I remember when it was crazy. Back Morphling was getting Ags, turning into Willow, and it was just like, this has to be removed from the game. Any love for Corlock?
I do like Corlock, but the gameplay doesn't become more exciting. It's just as boring as it was normally, but you get
That's true.
You get to have some levels and some XP and gold. You get your Ags a little faster. But yeah, it's still boring. He does right click a little pretty decently in lane. You don't lose the lane.
A personal favourite that I've not done in quite a while is the Lion mid. He's got a good 60 damage talent or something like that at level 10. But if you get it fast enough and you've got power treads, double nulls, you're actually strong right clicker, blink stun, hit, and it's pretty menacing. That's quite fun.
Yeah. I played that last week. I randomed it.
And got to do mid.
Yeah. It was with the lower stack.
Very
Null,
nice.
Talisman, Tranquils, Ags, Aether, Blink, E-Blade.
Wow. Very
Did
cool.
not win, though. It was a 14-minute... Let's see, what's the... 15-minute Ags, not bad. But then they had AM and Pango and Mars and Undying. And then they called us tryhards. When we had a 4, they call us tryhards, and we had a 4 sniper that was 1 in 12, a 5 tiny who literally has 50 games on his account. That's how new he was. A 5 tiny that went phase boots BKB as the build. I'm not disparaging him because he's that new. I'm just saying this was the game I was in, and the other team was calling us tryhards when they had Anti-Mage, Undying, Pango, Mars. And it's like, why are you saying this?
Yeah.
Lion mid is like the opposite of sweat. It's if I miss a Finger of Death one time, it's over. The game is over.
Yeah, the heroes that I don't like seeing in unranked are lane crushing heroes. That's what I don't like seeing in unranked. No one wants to see a stomp in unranked Dota 2. I don't mind good quote unquote heroes. I don't mind playing against a Spectre or a Void or whatever, or a Drow Ranger, or even a Sven in unranked. But I don't like playing against lane dominating heroes that can just crush a lane like Slardar and annoying heroes like that. Even Quap, I just don't like playing against Quap, full stop. But these lane crushers, I don't like playing against in unranked.
Speaking of unranked, I've been meaning to do Syllabur.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not to do something weird or funky, but just to play Syllabur.
Why?
I actually don't know. Just the idea of I can't even remember if I want to go a Spirit Bear build or a human right clicker build. I guess you go Spirit Bear, Mask of Madness, Des or something like this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just because in the last year, every time there's been a Syllabur, it's been on the enemy team and just munched us. So I don't know, it's got a kind of niggling feeling of that could be fun because it's really different. Because actually, yeah, a lot of the Agi heroes these days, none of them are inspiring me. Like I'm often made to play one. I got Ron Mexico being like, "Oh, no, I'm not playing one. You've got to play one." I'm like, "Oh god, I got to play one again." And there's no heroes inspiring me these days. So I think if I played Syllabur as a one, I could get into that.
What's more fun, Troll Warlord or Lifestealer?
I win more games on Lifestealer, therefore Lifestealer.
I like Troll Warlord more.
I think Troll's more fun.
Yeah.
But
He's
then
ranged and melee at the same time.
Yeah, what I'd say against Troll is because he's more fun, because he's got more mechanics to work with, his ult is very exciting, it's satisfying, getting loads of stacks on someone. Hey, don't laugh at that, Clem. It is. Hands off keyboard stuff. But then
he's got a skill shot.
I mean, I guess. He's got a skill shot to secure the range creep. But my point is that the brain energy required diminishes the fun. Because if I'm playing Troll, it's taking too much mental capacity. Whereas Lifestealer, it's so brain dead, I can just happily hit creeps and heroes and it's nice and relaxed. So in a way, I prefer Lifestealer sometimes.
I know what you mean. Because you have that a bit where you don't mind a snooze hero, like a Wraith King or a Lifestealer, but you don't like heroes like Terrorblade or Naga Siren, because if you're going to play a snooze farmer, you don't want to have to micro illusions as well.
That is exactly... You've summarized it in words for the first time ever. That is why I don't like these certain heroes. I'm
the opposite.
Oh my god.
That's what I want to do, is micro illusions.
That's just my worst nightmare. That's just so much effort. Sorry, if I'm going to apply effort to my game, it's going to be fucking Riki, Void Spirit, flying all over the map. Not Maiko in Illusion 1, 2, 3.
Throws in Void Spirit. That's just unwarranted.
Well, do it unwarranted.
Unjustified.
From what angle?
When was the last time you played Void Spirit?
Alright, give me a moment. I'm going to research this. Let Adam speak for a bit.
Plays POS 1 Void Spirit on release and then claims he's a Void Spirit player.
I know, I played him recently.
Yeah. Adam, do you have any fun things on your bucket list?
Not off the top of my head, but I used to always love the Lich mid because you could sacrifice. They stole that mechanic from me, so I guess I need to play an Enigma mid game here pretty soon.
Yes. I believe in your Enigma. Your Enigma's pretty strong, I think.
And then I can just steal all the range creeps, and I would play it Radiant, so then you can use the Midnight Pulse to break the trees, so you just farm that middle camp. That sounds pretty fun.
What's the item build if you play mid Enigma? Because I would be very interested in that as well.
Oh, I just probably Blink BKB or Auras, one of the two. Maybe Dagon 5.
Blink BKB Ags just go all in on the black hole game.
If you get a last pick Enigma and they don't have like the counter, they don't have the swaps or the global silence or the spell steal, I think that'd be a real fun one to do.
And the
way
way
BKB refresh as well as an option.
Yeah, you can just play the game as like, I don't care if we win or lose. The game is going to be I either get 5-man black hole or I farm and delay the game until I'm 6 slotted with kind of refresher Octarine and all that. In which case I'm guaranteed to get black holes, and then win or loss, you probably had a grand time.
And you don't let them get any levels. That's the most fun of it all. It's not about how much. Yeah, it's not the gold you have. It's the fact that you're level 6 and they're level 4, and you haven't even been that particularly good at denying their creeps, except for every single range creep.
It's surprising that never appears in a pro game. This Enigma mid strategy deny creeps.
I guess they think that Enigma is too much of a lane losing hero, because no matter where you put Enigma, he's going to deny range creeps. So you may as well put him off lane where he's not going to be as much of a detriment, just in his innate weakness in the lane.
Because you don't want him getting the XP priority in your team. You'd rather attempt get the XP mid, because wherever he goes, he's denying XP to someone. Yeah,
and also you pair him up in the off lane with a strong laner, and therefore Enigma's lane weakness isn't going to be as exploited as if he's mid. If I'm coming up against an Enigma mid, I'm like, I'm not getting range creeps. That sucks super bad. But I still fancy myself to farm outside of that. And whereas you only put Enigma in a side lane, not only do you deny range creeps, you also bring the equilibrium. Say you put him in the off lane, you bring the equilibrium under your tower, and it's just good times in general. Whereas if he's mid, it's a bit. I'm not so sure if it's that good, because enemy mids are still probably gonna get their farm and body you a little bit, even if they have a level disadvantage by 1 or something.
You gotta be against a middle that can't go and just farm the jungle or stacks, you know what I mean? So then they're just sitting there stuck, getting 3 out of every 4 creeps.
Yeah, whilst you go jungle.
Yeah, or you want an enemy mid that's really enabled by levels, which is most, but you want if you're up against an enemy mid that more than most is enabled by levels, then that's going to be good, because that's the one thing you're guaranteed to do is deny their levels. I tell you a hero that I know me and Marco certainly have played and have a soft spot for. The Tusk core is very good. I actually think position 1 Tusk can be very good. It's a strong laner with tag team and Q, and you will get kills in the lane. You get a quick deso, and then you're just flying around left to right, getting
one
kills.
Shot in
There's
every
no
support.
Yeah, literally. Yeah,
Shadowblade SB build, or Shadowblade Deso build, where you just literally one-shot the 4 or 5 position from Invis, and they're just like, oh, okay. And then you just start off a fight with them a man down. That is so fun.
You can't tag team when you do that, right? If you're Shadowbladed and you press E, you'll
have to tag and then shadow and find someone in that period, because otherwise you lose the Shadowblade bonus damage.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But tag team is more damage, I think, and it gets amplified by the crit. So I think you would rather get the tag off.
Right, interesting. That's good to know. I will now press tag team just before I hit someone out of Shadowblade, foregoing my Shadowblade damage, but getting the big tag team hit in.
I say that, but I should probably check
the numbers.
Yeah,
it says critical damage. It's always confusing what that applies to. But one thing I always struggle with oh, it's awkward. You come out of the snowball and you want to use your tag team, which I feel like has a bit of a delay, and you want to use medallion, and then you want to get the walrus punch off. And sometimes I know I've kind of fucked that up, but you can't get the ball.
You can tag team in the ball.
Can you? What can you?
You can throw shards from the ball too.
I know you can throw shards. Come on, bro. But you can use tag team.
I don't see why not.
Can you walrus punch in the ball?
No.
Oh, that would be so funny.
That would be so sick. Imagine rolling through a black hole and walrus punching Enigma as you go to cancel it. That would be so sick. That would be very fun. You can save people from chrono with snowball. I've seen it done once. But obviously it's super easy to do it if they're right next to the chrono and you can just walk up, snowball, and right-click them. I've seen someone like snowball across a chrono and right-click someone in it as they go, like a drive-by save. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
I mean, technically you could save someone from a black hole if you blink just outside it, do a snowball somewhere and grab someone in. Some high-level plays. Yeah, I still remember the first time Blink was theorized on Tusk, and there was a video put on our Dota 2, and it was honestly the first time ever this idea had been seen of, oh, let's think about playing Tusk where you build Blink and watch what you can do with these Blink saves. Honestly, it's revolutionary, and it's kind of cool to think about how, particularly with new heroes, new ideas will spawn and new ways to play, and they optimize over time. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I love Tusk against LC in particular. The dual save is so good.
Okay, so Shadowblade is not counted by critical strike.
So is it just base?
It's just bonus damage.
It's just bonus damage.
175 bonus damage. Yeah, it's physical. It's 175 bonus physical. Tag team is 100, but I suppose it gets crit.
But heard it here first. Use tag team instead of Shadowblade.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, because Shadowblade, the damage you get when you come out of it isn't tied to your actual hit.
It's not critable.
It's not critable. It's tied to the kind of Shadowblade aspect rather than your own hero's attack damage.
Yeah,
it makes sense to me.
Adam, is Bristleback a fun hero, yes or no?
Yes.
Nice, because I was going to shout Bristleback as something, especially for new players. Everyone should experience one Bristleback game where they're unkillable and just crushing lanes, and it's good times. And I think
you want to have one Bristleback game where you hear, "I'm not ready."
I'm not ready yet.
For like 500 times, probably in a normal. If you're playing Bristle the right way, you're just pressing the W button over and over and over again.
Yeah, I have my hero sounds turned off now, which is a shock horror, but I used to play with the voice line, not the voice lines, I used to play with the announcer pack and the mega kill for Bristleback as well, which is quite funny. That was quite brutal though.
I remember going over to
Radiant Tower's under attack.
Oh Lord, that's too much. I had for the longest time the Fallout 4 announcer and mega kill pack. It's just a robot butler. It's much more chill.
Yeah.
Than like something like Bristleback that's heavily accented.
Yeah.
It's too much. Like when I tried the Meepo one for one game and I was like, nope, I will never do that ever again.
Oh god, the Meepo one's awful because it doesn't even sound like Meepo. It sounds weird. It's an odd one. I was so disappointed with the Meepo one. Bristleback's quite funny, but yeah, it's a bit much. I can get away with it more because to me it's an accent that
mother tongue.
Yeah, kind of. It's like it's an exaggerated accent of the kinds of accents that you do hear in real life.
Yeah,
in my part of the world, so it's not so bad. But
I'm using the Dire Tide one now. The Dire Tide one's pretty good.
Yeah,
I need to use the TI announcer. I think that's
that one's good too.
The guy does the voiceover. Game 2.
Yeah, Riki Gaming versus.
So good. Bristleback must be the hero that I despise an ally playing the most relative to how much positive value I assign to me playing it. Like, I actually really quite enjoyed the Bristleback, and I think he's and every game just ends up being like a muncher, slapping, great fun, great carry. But there's no other hero where I would value so high and value my ally on it so low.
Yeah.
Like, I am very unhappy to see an ally pick Bristleback.
Yes, I know that you have an irrational hatred for
Very unhappy.
Mr. Back.
Yeah.
I remember I went over to a friend's apartment with my laptop, and we played Dota just out in the main room. And I remember playing Venomancer, which is another hero that you spam buttons on for wards. And he kept saying, like, I'm not ready. And his girlfriend was in the kitchen, was just like, what the hell are you guys playing? Like, she's like, this is the most annoying thing. I remember just hear this banana slug keep being like, I'm not ready. Not enough mana. Not yet.
Yeah.
It's like, I'd never thought about that. It's just like stuff you don't even pay attention to when you're playing.
You don't hear it. You just phase it out.
Yeah.
You're so used to it. Yeah, for sure. I'm looking around. Marco's has a bit of a crush on the Radiance E-Blade Jug, I know. That's one you don't see very often.
I've only done that once or twice. And I did it one game because the laning was going so redonk that I knew I could get this super speedy Rady. It wasn't as fun as it sounds.
Because normal right-click Jug is pretty fun.
Because, yeah, it is. Particularly with the, Swift Slash Aghanim's? Oh, that is... I prefer using that to the normal Omni, to be honest, because the normal Omni has this decent probability that it fucks up and it's just annoying. But the Swift Slash, slice, gap close, guaranteed just Slayer support. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that's fair. I did have a hero that I was thinking of for a fun little shout out, but I forgot what it was now. Feels bad.
The way I see a lot of the fun heroes is, like we said, I have this tendency that I want to farm and get gold, and I do enjoy that. But then with a lot of these agi heroes, either it's kind of too mechanically intense, like micro heroes or illusion heroes. I can't really think of other ones that I don't enjoy. But then if you're a strength hero, I just want to play it as a POS 1 because there is a bit more fun. They've got more spells to use, they're a bit manlier, get stuck in. Like your ET one, I'd do an Omni one, I'd do what to have in mind? Like the Slardar one, the Clock one, the Tide one, Ogre one. I mean, that one...
That's in hero, but...
That's in hero, but manly. The Ogre one's busted, honestly. When I played that in Guild Gaming, you get like an 8-minute Aether Lens or something, and you do so much spell damage if you farmed well enough. But yeah.
I remember the discussions about Midas on POS 1 Ogre.
Oh, yeah.
There were some strong opinions fielded. Everyone was like, you just get Midas, and you're like, no, I'm not getting Midas. I remember we talked about it on the pod even.
Why to not get Midas on POS 1 Ogre?
Yeah, why did you not get Midas on POS 1 Ogre?
I think for, say, a POS 3, it's probably fine, yeah. But for the 1, it's like, nah, you got to get rolling. So yeah, I love these melee strength heroes, and I'd love to get farm on them, but then too often, they're too shit at that role that it doesn't work. Like Battle Fury ET, or an Omni Knight with a Battle Fury. That would be fun. To me, anyway.
Yeah. How on earth did Riki used to be played as a 4? I don't understand that. For the longest time, Riki was a 4. Certainly when I first got into Dota.
Go Invis level 1. But then they moved it back to Invis at level 6.
So you'd be played like Bounty Hunter, basically?
Yeah. And you would get like a lot in the smoke cloud.
Right, so you're not rushing Diffusal.
No, and then like you also had Tricks of the Trade wasn't a thing, so you like had that bonus damage E passive so you could deny a bunch of creeps. That's the one thing that's sad about Riki mid now is that you can't just deny every single creep.
Yeah.
That was true. What the beauty of it was, because you're naturally backstabbing all of your own creeps for giga damage, giga denies, and no one can... It's not that you're last hitting that well, you're just denying like a god, and the enemy has to just be sad about it, because that's how the lane like lines up.
You can still do that, honestly.
Nothing makes Adam happier than just denying it.
Yeah.
I know I just feel like they're phasing out all of my like. I was so excited to do it against Medusa, and like, oh, I have to wait till level 6 to do this, and then I did it, and it was awesome. But I had probably had 30 less denies than I should have had.
They were the days when you would be able to Quelling Blade a sentry as well.
Yes.
So you'd be Riki, and you'd.
Those were so funny, like a little mini game of who's going to instantly sentry battle. Yeah.
Who's going to tango it, or who's going to?
Oh,
Yeah.
tango it as well.
Yeah.
It's a weird change, that one. So now you have to hit it twice, because it means that when you deward someone mid or in the lane, it's often really, really easy for them to deny it, because as soon as you hit it once, they'll just hit it to deny it. So it's an odd change. I don't know why they made it. Why did they even do that you couldn't Quelling Blade or Tango wards anymore? I don't know what the thought was behind that.
Too good a feature, maybe.
One thing you did see was that supports had Quelling Blade all the time.
Yeah.
So maybe they didn't like that. They didn't like a support 30 minutes into a game with a Quelling Blade. They just thought that's a bit silly. I don't know. Death Prophet 5.
Oh god, that's a dull hero.
We played with a Death Prophet 5.
A level 25 master tier Death Prophet 5, and it worked.
Yeah.
That is such that silence is so gross. It's so gross. It's like such an underrated spell. The same with Drow silence. It's like so strong, lasts forever, easy to hit.
Mm.
And then I do like the inevitability of just pushing. Got the big team fight ult, got the big pushing ult.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. Any final shout-outs before we wrap up? Any final...
My list is basically any strength hero with a Battle Fury.
So I will say I tried
Spirit Battle Fury
1 yesterday. Spirit Breaker 1. Don't do it. It's fucking terrible.
I have a soft spot for mid Spirit Breaker. Mid Spirit Breaker is not bad. Because you want to get level 6 really quickly. So I think it's better than 1. Because XP is more important than gold for the hero, I think, to really get rolling.
Well, I went from... you can look at Dota buff. I went from bottom safe lane 1, promptly won the lane hard into a 28-minute loss. So things went pear-shaped very quickly.
Yikes.
Also, what kind of bullshit mechanic is Treant Protector's, what do you call the Q? That line thing.
What is the name of that spell? I don't even know.
Nature's Grasp, maybe? Something like that?
That sounds right.
Okay, he throws out the Q. Spirit Breaker's running at 700 move speed. He hits it, goes down to 200. And he's still charging through it, but it's 200 move speed until he gets through it and then goes back to 700. It's like, why am I hard countered by some grass?
It's so funny when a Spirit Breaker charges at like 1 mile per hour. That happens quite a lot. It happened in my game the other day. I don't know what caused it. But Spirit Breaker charges away and we're like, oh no, the gank's failed. But then I think he gets Galed and Frostbite bitten at the same time or something, and he's just going super slow. And it's like, he's actually going slower than if he tried to walk.
Yeah, it's brutal. I was like so upset about it in the later stages of the game. It's like I can't gank anybody because there's just, I don't even know. It's like, it's almost a root.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Well, without further ado, that's the end of episode 118. And I know it's been a bit of a rambling episode. It's hard to come up with meta topics when we know the meta's going to be turned on its head in a week's time. Let's all pray to Gaben, and with any luck, this time next week we'll be telling you all the wonderful tricks of, the 7th spirit or whatever Valve has up their sleeve for us.
Well, we in-depth detail about the two passives and a spell that consumes a creep.
Yeah, or in reality, complaining about another high mobility hero that's broken on release. Marco's climbed 100 MMR.
Yeah, I think they're just going to release Movement Ability Spirit is what it's going to be called. Movement Spirit.
Yeah, OP Spirit.
Its passive is just going to be it can pass through like across terrain and up cliffs and all that.
Yeah, it'll be Nyx level 25.
Yeah.
ability, just free terrain pathing.
Yeah.
With permanent Bat Rider flame behind him.
Let's do predictions, just very briefly. Predictions for the win rate of the new hero a week in. And we'll adjust these predictions when it comes out. The first podcast after it comes out will. But from now, we don't know anything about the hero, what do you think the win rate will be a week after release?
Well,
how broken, how smart are Valve, basically?
What depends on how many times you think it will get fixed within the first week.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
If it's just shipped, I think without any changes, it's probably 58 plus in the first week.
Yikes. It might be bad, you never know.
Unless it's difficult, then it'll take people some time to figure out. But usually they're so strong, I don't think they're going to ship a hero that's as complicated as like Earth Spirit or Io or something.
I'd be so sick if they did.
That would be awesome, but I think it'll probably be like a 58% win rate hero, and I don't think it'll get touched up as bad as like Void or Grimstroke, but it's going to be really strong.
It's such a bait thinking about complicated new hero, because the idea of a new hero that's really complicated and micro-intensive sounds good, but in reality, a month or two after release, it just becomes this niche hero that not many people play, and you probably don't play because it's I just can't be bothered to learn it or whatever. So in theory, I want that, but I don't know if in reality I want that.
With the new ranked or relatively new ranked system, the hero won't appear in any ranked game because it'll just get perma-banned when two teams pick it, or it gets banned.
Yeah, that's such an interesting thought. I hadn't thought about that. It's going to get banned in all the games because both teams are going to first phase pick it.
So I think there's going to be a flood.
That's in unranked.
Does that happen in unranked
as well, though, right? Yeah, it happens in unranked as well. Yeah.
Shit, really?
Hero's not going to get picked. That's such a true point. The hero won't be picked. It will be banned every game. That's crazy. I hadn't even thought of that. It's going to get banned every game. That's worth a Reddit post, honestly, I feel like. What are we going to do when this hero's banned every single game?
It'll just be like, how does anyone ever learn the hero?
Yeah. Interesting. Well, there you go. Join us again next week. And until then, have a final whistle.